Hello there, everyone. Welcome to the World of Most podcast. And on this episode of Reflections and Reactions, I'm going to be discussing if I was wrong about Advanced UK or not. But first, let me talk a bit about the doomsayers, the people who want us trapped in this black haze. Well, there's a particular group of people on both sides of the political spectrum, but more often we see this on the online right, so to speak. These people don't seem to really want a working solution to any of the problems. And they just want to burn the whole world down unless they get 100% their way. And we all know it doesn't work like that. There are trade offs. As long as your non negotiables are intact, you should be willing to trade off in the temporary to get what you want in the long term. But they try to bring down anyone who has their name and identity out there in the open. They are anonymous, they hide behind anonymous accounts, a lot of them, and they throw shades at everyone. People who are actually trying to do something about the problems, they just try to bring them down. And I'm kind of tired of these online accounts. They're not seeking accountability or actually giving constructive criticism. They think being a contrarian for the sake of it is actually a sign of intelligence. Your society is crumbling while all your enemies are rubbing their hands in gleeful anticipation. And all you can do is sit behind anonymous accounts, saving your hide and making social media dollars out of people's misery, promulgating these nonsense conspiracies, just to show, oh, you were always right, oh, you don't know what the actual reason is for all these things. Nothing is good enough for these people. They're bitter till the last moment. They want perfection, even when even like fair will do as a good first step. you know they think it's a sprint when the restoration of a country and culture are always a marathon. You have to take steps towards what you want to achieve, and as long as you know that the destination is fine, right, then you can start taking those steps, and in each step that you take, you can contribute to move the Overton window a bit forward, right, and to bring in solutions, to bring in fixes as you take away the layers of the problem. And this is the reason why I was against Reform Party and have been, because I don't see the destination going towards anywhere good. You know, these people, I think these people who are constantly online, these people have done nothing of importance, and they have built nothing of real importance. But also, I guess that is the story of every critic who has nothing of value to offer in the end. You know, the fight back will neither be led nor fought by pious monks as innocent in life as a newborn pup. It will need hardened souls toughened by life and wizened by experience. So I would say stop squawking online and start helping. It is a long road, and everyone willing and able will be needed and will be required to do their duty. Now, was I wrong about Advance UK? Well, I said it at the start, anyways, that the whole political landscape will change once a political party, either led by Ben Habib or Rupert Lowe, or both of them, comes into play. There will be some shifting of the public conscience over it, right? So I wasn't really wrong about Advanced UK. I just knew that there are so many variables, right? Um, I have said before, and I sort of maintain that point of view, that the restoration of the country will need sort of three main points. One of them is the restoration of the monarchy, where you actually need a Christian king, or a monarch or a queen, right, who puts the values of the country before that of the foreigners, right? Who is not captured by a left ideology, and that will go a long way into fixing the elite and the establishment. The other is the fixing the restoration of faith, and the restoration of faith, and not just of the church, but actually of people's faith, so that they reconnect with their values and traditions. And one of the other things where people might say, "Oh, I was wrong about Advance UK or something," or I'm hypocritical maybe in joining Advance UK, is that I've maintained this, and I still maintain this to a degree, that the restoration of the country will depend on the restoration of the conservatives, right, of the Tories. Now, because they are the oldest party, they are the establishment party, and when they are corrupt, you know that the establishment is corrupt. But that will take, if that were to happen, that will take a long time. They have to purge all the liberals out of there. They have to get away from this tendency of electing people like Emmy Badenoch, because it's a, somehow they're protected from being called racist if they do that. So once they stop these liberal inclinations, and it will take a long, long time, and might not be anyone right now who's involved with them, not even Robert Jendrick or anyone else. It might be a whole new crop of people that will eventually restore them. And that's when they are restored in that way, that's when you know the establishment is restored. The establishment has taken care of the Marxist and the Islamist and the foolhardy liberals within their ranks, right? And the establishment is back, because you need an elite establishment to run a country, right? You just need that establishment to actually be pro British and for the British people, or pro whatever country might be. We are talking about Britain, so that's why I'm saying pro British, right? So now that restoration might happen in different ways. That restoration might happen in the Conservative Party in 10 to 15 to 20 years, re- restoring itself, reforming itself, or it could be through another party pushing them to, or it might actually need that anyways, to push them to restore, or them merging with that party to actually become a party that they were supposed to be, right? Or that they are destroyed and a new party comes into its place. That means the restoration of conservatives still happen, just under a new name, under new, beginning sort of thing. But that does need to happen, because you need to restore the elites. You have to restore the establishment. And these three steps are needed to restore the establishment that will restore Britain. Now, my problem with Reform Party has always been that they're not willing to restore. They're not actually willing to reform. They're only trying to do the bare minimum. And I do not think that bare minimum is good enough anymore. We are at a point where we need a lot more than bare minimum. We need to go a step forward. If people think that only illegal migration is a problem in this country, they do not understand what the actual problem is, right? Most of these illegal migrant Islamists, Muslims, whatever, they are coming in. They're not leaders. They're not like, with the plans and strategies and stuff. These are foot soldiers. Their leaders are already here. Legal migrants. In most cases, they're born over here and stuff. So you have to be willing to go a step forward. And in doing so, you cannot involve people in your party who are actually whose communities are actually causing the problems, right? You cannot involve liberals in your party. You cannot involve far right or far left in your party, right? And you can definitely not include Muslims in your party in a leadership capacity, because otherwise it won't fix the problem then. So that was my problem with Reform, right? And what I see with Advanced UK is that there's I still don't like the name, by the way. I still hope that somehow they change the name, but what I see positive is that at least there's a platform. The actual what Reform was supposed to be, there is a platform, and let's back this and see then what happens, right? At a minimum, they can become an opposition like as an opposition of liberal Democrats taking their number of seats, 70 or 100 seats, right? And that can become a huge pressure group, because that's a significant pressure group in the parliament. It's just that liberal Democrats are that useless that they don't know how to use that pressure group. That's a huge 30 MPs themselves are a big pressure group. 70 to 100 are a huge pressure group, right? Or that in 2029 Advanced UK is able to take a huge majority, right? Or they're able to take a more significant 150 members or whatever, members of parliament, right? And then someone has to merge with them to form government, right? So anything can happen as long as you have a party which has a political philosophy, understands itself, and is working for the people and for the union of Britain, right? So I see that as a positive. In that sense, I was never wrong about Advanced UK. Um, it's just that I like, I can get bitter at times as well. The extreme left and Islamists are very unhinged, and they will cause a great harm to Britain and her people if we let them continue down this path. And I can be bitter sometimes as well, but we have to find ways to come together. Otherwise, we will all fail. And I see this is a good platform. This combined with what Tommy Robinson is doing, for all his faults, he's a friend of mine. I consider him as a good friend, right? And for all his faults, he is at least trying to do something. He's trying to bring people together. You combine this movement, and then you combine this political movement within Advanced UK. Then you have Restore Britain as well, which is the intellectual movement going behind the scenes. You combine all of these elements together, and we might have something. We might have a chance, right? So let's plunge into this and try to see what comes out of it. So yeah, once again, I don't think so I was wrong per se about Advanced UK. I think so I was, for a major part, I was waiting to see what happens. I've been in conversation with the people in around for a while now as well, and I decided to join in that sense. If you will do whatever you feel, you should do whatever you feel is the right thing to do. I've done what I feel is the right thing to do to give this country a chance, to have some sort of hope, to try to have, like, to aim for something, right? To try to work towards something. So yeah, let's see where it leads to. And yeah, yeah, it'll be a tricky few years. We still have a lot of time till the next election. Labor is will try to do all it can to ruin the country as much as possible, to plunge it into a lot of socialist hellholes. And this is again a reason why I don't believe in Reform Party, because I don't think so. They have a lot of Blairites in there. They have a lot of liberals in there. They are not going to repeal all the laws that are even now that are being put in place. They are just going to change few things, if any, right? And they will try to steady the establishment. But the establishment actually needs overhaul. It needs a restoration, and needs people being excluded who have no business in being in the establishment. Like, when people are being anti-establishment as well, right? It's not as if, like, you need absolutely no kind of establishment, right? You need absolutely no kind of elites. Obviously, you need elites to run a country. You need the best of minds, right? With the best of ability and the best of competence to run the country. You just want that elite to be pro country, right? To be pro nationalist, to be pro their people, and to be pro, in a way, progress as well, but not progress for the sake of progress. Progress that is tied to traditions, right? That takes the view of traditions, a kind of a traditionalist conservatives who take that view and bring it forward, right? So they're not stuck at a time. They don't hold the country back, but they also don't plunge them into the unknown without without a second thought for the sake of some sort of parasitic ideology. So yeah, for a while I think so. This is something hopeful in my view. Advanced CK. Let's see where it goes. It's not perfect. It's still building, and I think so. A lot of people need to be involved that can help it build even more. Anyways, thank you for listening and catch you next time.